delicious treats like these at the snack bar to enjoy every minute of your stay here. And while you relax and stretch, visit our concession where you'll find something to please you. There are ice-cold drinks, delicious sandwiches, ice cream, coffee and snacks, and many other pleasing treats. Our foods are fresh and tasty, our drinks satisfying and refreshing. They're so good.
You get more out of life when you go out to a movie. Show starts in 4 minutes.
Visit our
Good morning, Charlotte. Good morning, Carrie Wright. Good morning.
Castleberry's pit-cooked barbecue sandwiches. Cook the Castleberry way slowly over open pits of glowing charcoal. Then season with a sauce that's zesty, yet delightfully mild to please the entire family. Also at the snack bar, you'll find popcorn and soft drinks and candy and French fries to go with your Castleberry's barbecue sandwiches. There's plenty of time before the movie starts, so visit our
Good morning,
snack
everyone.
bar right now for Castleberry's pit-cooked barbecue sandwiches.
Still plenty of time to come and be served at the refreshment center before showtime. Show starts in 3 minutes.
Come on, you booger.
Show starts in 2 minutes.
Your attention, please. All new Hotshot electric in-car heaters have been installed for your comfort and convenience. Just insert heater through car window and turn on the switch. When leaving, please turn switch off and replace on speaker post. Warning, high voltage. For your own safety, do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you need assistance, please notify the theater box office or concession manager.
Good morning, Christy D'Souza. Ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Da, 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 da. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum.
Show starts in 1 minute. Please remember to replace the speaker on the post when you leave the theater. And now, on with the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Paint My Monster with me, your host, Easel Monster. It's great to see everybody today. Hey, it looks like I've already got some technical difficulties that I'm going to deal with, but you know what? There are force fields everywhere, so technical difficulties, no big deal. Anyway, hey, great to be with you. Paint My Monster is a little art show with big monster ideas and stuff, right? So, boys and girls, let's go through our pre-launch checklist and get to the drawing today. Now, I want to read you the poem that was yesterday's. I'm going to have to fix something here in a minute, but that's all right. Yesterday's poem, let me read this. Here's the art that we are going to make today, because I gotta find it. Sometimes I project with my mind. Oh, here it is. The Three Young Rats with Black Felt Hats. It's a poem. I'll read this to you. 3 young rats with black felt hats. 3 young ducks with white straw flats. 3 young dogs with curling tails. 3 young cats with demi veils. Went out to walk with 2 young pigs in satin vests and sorrel wigs. But suddenly it chanced to rain, and so they all went home again. Or again, you could say that. Anyway, I am making a picture of 3 rats, but I've got technical difficulties, boys and girls. So, let's start our launch sequence and see if that can get... Boys and girls, prepare for launch. All right, let's go through our pre-launch checklist, boys and girls. Mr. Penny, please take your station. Thank you. All right, Mac back nice and slow, please. Stocking clamps and fire main thrusters. And music on my mark in 3, 2, 1. All right, boys and girls, we have achieved our cruising altitude. All right, boys and girls, here we are. Let's get some music on and make some art. Welcome to everybody who is joining us. You are watching Paint by Monster with me, your host, Easel Monster. And it's a podcast and a puppet show and an art show and an intermediate art chat show and all of those sorts of things. And here we go with, let's get some music on first. Today. Now, sometimes, boys and girls, sometimes at nighttime, I sit around the spaceship here with Penny and Mrs. Monster, and sometimes I drink a Monster beverage and I practice playing some of my Monster instruments. And so I recorded some of those, and I thought I'd just play them with you today. So, UFO gift cards, 3 for $1. UFOs, say that. By the way, I also do some advertising, so I want to put together some new television sort of intermissions spots before the show, because I think that's fun and funny. I like that, but I'm getting kind of tired of that same thing every single day, so I think I'd like to make some of those myself. So I've been noodling around with some of those ideas of how could I make my own commercials for the front end of the show. So, good morning, Michelle Jones. Nice to see you with me. How can I make my own commercials for the front end of the show? And I think maybe they should be funny, and some of them need drawn, and some of them I have drawn. So some of these things are just going to play. Boys and girls, we'll get to the rat in a moment. Boys and girls, this is the 3 young rats doodle from yesterday. And we'll talk about today gesture drawing, and these are 3 young rats in black felt hats. Also, I thought maybe how will they be young rats? I want to put some vintage clothing on them. So I pulled up this with some vintage clothing, and I thought, yeah, okay, maybe we could look at these guys' clothes and maybe put some of those clothes on these rats. That might be fun. So anyway, but first, let's get some music on and get back to the drawing table. And now that we're up here, boys and girls, let's make some art, shall we? Thank you, or I love you with a UFO. Tell someone you... Let's start it over. UFO gift cards, 3 for $1. UFOs. Say thank you, or I love you with a UFO. Tell someone you love them. Plus, hey, there's some weird stuff going on. UFO gift cards, 3 for $1. Now at Dartmart. Dartmart, bullseye pricing every day. Amber Creek. I get tickled sometimes at night, too. Hammer cream. Do you have chapulence? You need hammer cream. Hammer cream. Do you need chapulence? You have hammer cream. Do you have chapulence? Serious. Shut up. Do you have chapulence? You might need hammer cream. Hammer cream will keep your hands from becoming chapulent. Chapulent is an awful condition. The doctors don't even know what to think about chapulence, but we do. Here at Hammer Cream, we've studied chapulence for years, and we understand it at a molecular level. We understand chapulence to be a skin condition not only of the skin, but also of the brain between the skin, because we know these things, and Hammer Cream can help with your condition. Hammer Cream, that's what we're called, Hammer Cream. And you can buy our product at Dartmart. Dartmart, bullseye pricing every day. Dartmart. Good morning, Laura. Boys and girls, we're listening to a recording of me after having a monster beverage. It's a medicine that will turn your otherwise waste material into useful material products. Just like these things. Do you need gloves with poop useful? Useful with poop useful. You can have gloves within about 24 hours. You eat the recommended amount of roughage, and then you take the amount of poop useful, and these things will come out of you. Just program the catalog, and your digestive system can also be operated as a 3D printer. Imagine that. Timmy's bicycle for Christmas? That was a product of poop useful. Listen to Dad now. Yeah. That bought Timmy's Christmas bicycle. That took a couple days. I'm still recovering, but the doctor says I should be able to walk again by June. But look how happy he is. Poop useful. Side effects may include trembling, jitters, chitters, shakes, ugly things, weird things that happen to your backslide, misshapenness, and also pain, sudden death, and headache. Also mild nausea. If these things persist, see your doctor. But Poop Useful could be for you. So see your doctor and get on Poop Useful. That way, you can make things right straight out of you. Every day. Available at Dartmart. Dartmart, bullseye pricing every day. Available now at Dartmart. Poop Useful. Bing, that must mean it's time for our show. Everybody plug and play and get on the way with Poop Useful and Dartmart. Bullseye pricing every day. Yippee Dogs, brought to you today by Yippee Dog Service. Now available at Dartmart. Dartmart, bullseye pricing every day. So, I've been thinking about this 3 young rats in black felt hats. Welcome, Jeremy Trammell, who says he feels like he's taking crazy pills. I mean, it's time for our show. Gesture drawing. You sort of treat the line that you're using like it's a wire around what you're drawing. You know, and when you're establishing the form, and I suppose you're worrying about the edges, but not really. The other thing that I want going on here in this is, I love this idea here. In rat number 1, remember we talked yesterday that because we live in an English-speaking country, the natural, easy flow of information is from left to right. So from left to right, I want these rats' feet sort of to be in the animation position of this will be 1, 2, a little further down, and 3, a little further down. I don't want full contact with this foot. I want to still see the bottom of it, but I want to pay attention to that sort of arc in the pose of these 3 rats walking down.
I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe it came from you. I'm gonna write words oh so sweet, they're gonna knock me off my feet. A lot of kisses on the bottom, I'll be glad I got 'em. I'm gonna smile and say, I hope you're feeling better. And close with love the way you do. I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe it came from you.
Nah, don't make them clever. All right, you know what? Some of this stuff will get solved in the inking, I think. Maybe. A little more penciling, maybe. By the way, all the stuff you ever see me do on the show, boys and girls, you can see if you'll go to paintbymonster.com. One of the other things I wanted to talk to you about while we were together today is this. Boys and girls, I want to talk to you for just a minute about something I'm going to call the path to mastery, or getting good at stuff. The way that most people think about getting good at things is they think that it's a sort of a mountain and a path that sort of winds its way towards getting to this place where you know how to do something. Draw, ride a bicycle, whatever that is. But some things that you learn are not really like that. At first, you can get good at something, and you get up to this level, and you go along, and you go along. And then at some point, you want to get better at something. And so you go up here to this next level. But at some point, you see that there's this level up here, and you want to get up to here. This is not how it goes. You do not just gradually work your way up to here. When you juggle 3 balls, anybody can learn how to juggle 3 balls. That's pretty easy. You can even learn to do some tricks. But the moment you want to juggle 4 balls, boys and girls, every additional ball you add is a year of practice. And the path to mastery does not look like instantly just getting better and better and better. You don't do that. First, you fall off a cliff and you stink for a really long time. You drop everything. You're awful. You're not good at it. Why am I not good? I used to be up here. Now I'm all the way back to... What happened? Well, what happened is you're trying to incorporate new skills. Good morning, Eve Cunning, who is now watching. Thank you. Welcome. Glad you're here. You're trying to incorporate new skills into what you're doing. And so there's a fall off in your performance while you are doing that. In other words, you stink before you get up to this next level, right? The path to mastery is not a straight line up the mountain. There's a lot of failure in it. So, make a lot and fail a lot. It's good for you to fail. It is okay to make lots of bad art. Bad art. But, boys and girls, the path to mastery. All right, let's get back to these 3 young rats in black felt hats. I like this one here in the top hat. He reminds me of a friend of mine who wears a top hat. I think I'm just going to cut his nose right there. I also like maybe these whiskers coming out of these dudes. Yeah. I sort of want them to have a cool factor. I want cool with these guys. Johnny Cool. Cool. I want cool rats. Maybe I want some rats. I want some rats with some vintage bling. Yeah, that's not bad. Mark Branfield says flail harder, and he's trademarked that. So boys and girls, are you flailing? Are you wailing and flailing? I don't know what you're doing. Christy D'Souza asks if I can juggle 4 balls. No. That's why I have robots. You're watching Paint by Monster. May the 14th. In fact, I think I'm going to let this one just, I think I'm going to let him, give himself a little, Johnny Cool Mo rat walking down the street. He's got a swagger, you know. Check me out. By the way, I think also maybe I will give this rat maybe a cane, you know, make him. He's got walking downtown with a cane money. That's what he has. I like a rat that has walking downtown with a cane money. That's nice. He's got to have a suit too. Do you like wearing fancy clothes? Oh.
I was. That's okay. Hey, I'm official. Yeah, cool. Look at this. What does this mean we get to do?
Boys and girls, you are listening to a recording of Mrs. Monster entering my office onto the bridge yesterday, and she brought me a piece of paper and said, "We are now official." And I said, "What on earth do you mean?" And she said that we can now pay our sales tax when we collect sales tax on the website. So we're not just any old monster sitting up here in a UFO above Muncie, Indiana, where we live, just making art and selling it willy-nilly on the website, because we are sort of pirate, and we're pirate music and all that kind of stuff, which is cool, but that's not all that's going on. The other thing that's going on is we're legit, which is great.
UFO gift cards, 3 for $1. UFOs. Say thank you or I love you with a UFO. Tell someone you love them. Plus, hey, there's some weird stuff going on. UFO gift cards, 3 for $1. Now at Dartmart. Dartmart, bullseye pricing every day. Amber Creek.
Now we're not doing that again. Hit display. That's all right. gesture drawing. When you're gesture drawing, like I said, you're using the line sort of like a piece of wire to figure out the form. Now this, I happen to know where the edge of the form is. It's right here, and he's got to sort of reach out to do that. And I think the more that cane is pointed backward, the more it's going to sell the idea that he is really styling as he goes down the street. I like, yeah. This is another rat here. I like the whiskers on this guy's. That's good. And glasses for him. Different kind of glasses. And in Chicago, 3 young rats walking downtown with a cane. They got the money. They got the dead presidents just a-flowing through their rat veins. They've got money, they've got swagger and power and stuff that you don't even know about. People say, hey, those 3 rats walking down the street, look at them go, that's enough now. Yeah, that has to be up there more, yeah. You gotta tilt that more, that's wrong. Yeah. I want it to look, one of the things I'm trying for here is how old, I don't think these rats are blind, I just think they're cool. I don't think they're 3 blind mice, I think they're 3 young rats in black felt hats. But money, they gotta have some money. I don't think I like maybe that kind of hat, I don't know. We'll see. That's maybe better. Oh yeah, this middle one. This middle one, let's have him flicking a coin. Yeah. Yeah. That'll work pretty good. It's hard out here for a rat, says Mark Brownfield, who identifies with the rats. I get it. I heard a scientist say one time, boys and girls, that if a rat has enough food and mating opportunities, that he won't leave more than about 30 feet from where he was born. How far do you live from where you were born, boys and girls? I'm not calling you a rat. I don't really call names. But I'm willing to make fun of you if your life is funny enough. Because I'm willing to make fun of me if my life is funny enough. 3 kind mice, that's nice, Jeremy Trammell, that's nice. Which reminds me of a joke. I always thought there was a typo about Curious George. I thought it could be Furious George because he was angry at the man in the yellow hat. These are the jokes, folks. Yeah, this kind of Indiana Jones kind of hat. Hello, Mickle Yanes from thousands of miles away. Here we are, floating around. Hold me close and hold me fast, this magic spell you cast. When you speak, angels sing from above. Everyday words, they seem to turn into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be la vie en rose. Bum, bum, boom, boom. Bum, bum, boom, bum. Ba-bum, bum, ba-boom, ba-bum, bum. What do you think, Penny? I love you, Penny. Commander Penny. If I could give you a promotion, I would give you a promotion. And not just because I owe you $10 either. Oh, don't look at me like that. Yeah. 3 young rats, Penny. Just like you said, put more cats and mice into the show. He was talking, he asked, would you please put more cats into the show? And would you please make them look vicious and like deadly, killers? I said, yes, of course I'll do that. Because you're bigger than I am and you might bite me. I watched him play with things to death once. I've seen it. It's not poker. He's too good at poker. Eve Cunning says, what, do you and Penny have a standing poker game? We play baccarat and we play backgammon. And he's vicious at everything. He's just mean as can. He's like mean as a cat. He's agile. He thinks fast. Ugh. You can't outsmart him. You can't outrun him. Might as well make friends with him. Yep, that's right. Oh.
Oh, hurry, hurry, Myrtle, you're a walking like a turtle. You're a slowpoke. It's always a ragging 'cause your feet are always dragging. You're a slowpoke, dear. Why don't you make like a rabbit and get hydromatic because both your ears are long. Oh, it's a wonder how you poke along. Oh, hurry, hurry, Myrtle, you're a walking like a turtle. You're a slowpoke. You're a slowpoke. I got to hurry up. Every day the people are waiting on you, but you've got lead in your hind end. Why, if you had the 7-year itch, since there just ain't any doubt, you're so slow, you know that it would take you 50 years to scratch it out. Oh, everybody says that you're the slowest thing there is. You know you're a slowpoke. You're a slowpoke. Every day you're dragging
Oh.
'cause your feet are on the rag and you're a slowpoke. Dear, get hydromatic. Make like a rabbit because both your ears are long. Why, it's a simple wonder how you poke along. You wasn't paid by Monster. UFO gift cards, 3 for $1. UFOs. Say thank
That.
you or I love you with a UFO. Tell someone you love them. Plus, hey, there's some weird stuff going on. UFO gift cards, 3 for $1. Now at Dartmart. Dartmart, bullseye pricing every day.
How about some of this? And, what? Yeah. Yeah, all right. Well, boys and girls, I'm so glad that this seems to be growing. Paint by Monster is a live broadcast. Some of the material is pre-recorded. Some of the material is happening live. I'm not telling which is which. Don't ask. Shut up and watch the show. What's wrong with you? Shut up. All right. Every day, a little art show. I'll draw something for you, paint something for you. We'll take off in a spaceship, make some art, hang out with my giant cat. It's mostly a podcast, really, with some monster thoughts and monster puppeting and monster host and monster fun. And it's a little visit. And thank you, Christy D'Souza, for saying the music is beyond awesome. Just a couple of days ago, I joined the Dr. Demento group. That's something in my own history. I've been a Dr. Demento fan for just years and years and years. And I posted one of these videos to the group because I was playing some weird music, as you know. If you're into the weird music, sometime, join me. All right. Yeah. I like fancy clothes. Sometimes I like dressing up in fancy clothes. I don't know if you do. I have a rule. My rule is my fancy clothes have to be some of the most comfortable clothes that I have. Like, I want my fancy clothes to feel like pajamas. Fancy clothes, my tuxedo feels like a pair of pajamas, boys and girls. And sometimes when Mrs. Monster and I walk downtown Muncie, I break out my diamond-tipped chain and my solid gold shoes, and we walk downtown. And I say, Mrs. Monster, you are looking so fine this evening. And she says, oh, the ratty way you talk. I say, well, that's how I get my mojo on, is talking this way to you on this summer evening with our canes and our bag of snacks and our slightly alcoholic beverages that we're walking illegally downtown with, but no one knows because the container is so unobtrusive. No one would stop us. Look at us. We're wearing tuxedos. That's a magic pass to do anything you ever want. You say, oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to pay my taxes. I was wearing a tuxedo. I forgot, officer. I didn't know that was illegal. Boys and girls, this has been Paint by Monster. With me, your host, Easel Monster, and May the 14th. Hope you've got some great stuff planned today. Penny and I are going to play some backgammon later on. Maybe we'll give Eve Cunning's suggestion a try and we'll play poker, but look, man, I'm already into him for $10. Yeah, all right. I love all of you. I love all of your hearts. Thank you, Christy D'Souza, for all of those hearts. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Laura says he has a tuxedo shirt. I'm not surprised at this. Of course, that's in your closet, Laura. Of course it is. 3 young rats in black felt hats and some bossa nova music. We'll finish this tomorrow. I'm going to do some off camera. You don't know what I'm going to do. Show up tomorrow. Hey, pretty soon. We're going to YouTube, folks. Here it comes. I love watching the reruns on these things, by the way, too. They're just so cool, man. I'm having a blast. This is really fun. Paint by Monster. Tell your friends. Tell everybody now. Things are getting figured out, mostly. Shut up. boys and girls, come to laugh, learn, and have a good time up here in orbit around the planet. I love all of you. Check you out on the flippity flops. See you next time. This is Easel Monster and Penny the Cat signing off saying goodbye from Easel Monster and Paint by Monster. See you tomorrow.